So I want to make sure we get to more of your stuff, but we got Dan on
Sure.
long distance from Lansing. How are you, Dan?
Hi, Dan.
Good. Hey, Matt, how come you're all irritated with me? I haven't even gotten started yet. No?
Yeah, I have this little screen here that lists who's up next, and
I know.
I saw your name. Are you watching the stream live?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I wanted to congratulate you on your video stream. It's fantastic.
Thanks.
I've been watching your show for about 6 months now on Video Google and on my podcast.
Cool.
And I'm in the great, wonderful state of Michigan with their wonderful economy, as you all know.
Yes.
But first of all, again, I want to thank you for getting it up on the live stream. Hope you don't mind that this isn't really a question or a comment about what you're talking about today.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to call and thank you guys for being a voice of, a very refreshing voice of reason in a very confused world that we live in. Matt, I walked a very similar path to what it sounds like you have, as far as being a Christian for about 20 years. I actually wanted to be a missionary, and then about 10 years ago, I really started to question my beliefs very seriously.
Yeah.
And I have, have dabbled with thoughts about God since that time. But your show has really helped me as far as crossing that line over to a full embracing of more of an atheistic belief system. I'm now, my 13-year-old daughter, has become a big fan of your show. We actually watch together. We listen to sound, watch sound clips, and it's really helping her to become a free thinker. So I just want to call and thank you guys. You guys have given me a great way, or a great means of actually crossing that line and really stepping even more forward into a free thinking realm. So.
Great.
Well, I'll thank you in return, Dan, because that kind of feedback makes other calls that I won't say by name, makes it worth it.
I hear that call that you had the last time, and it's just jaw-dropping. I have a friend, at work who, I will sometimes get into discussions with that. I once asked her, if the Bible told you, very, not metaphorically, that the world was flat and had an edge on it, and that if you traveled to the far west or east, you would fall off. Mm-hmm. And I said, if science, showed evidence that the world was round, and and you traveled around the globe, and you started off at the same spot that you started out at, and you observed, ships going over the horizon, you noticed that they were going down, and everything pointed to a rounder. What would you believe in? Yeah. And she said, well, I believe the Bible. And I said, that is frightening.
Yeah,
it is frightening.
Absolutely, that is frightening. And I've been a very rational thinker, and what started me on my path was starting to study philosophy. Actually, through a writer named a Christian writer named Peter Kreeft. And I don't think he intended me to actually go the path that I went. But it's a bit ironic that it actually led me away from the faith. But I've since been fine tuning my thoughts, and I'm sorry to ramble on here, but but you got I just want to say, Matt, Tracie, Russell, Dennis, all the rest of you guys freaking rock. Just keep on what you're doing. And if I'm ever down in the Austin area, I'll be coming to I'll be pub crawl with you with my family.
Well, you can't bring your daughter to a pub crawl. I'm sorry.
Well, maybe not my daughter. Maybe not my daughter. Maybe I'll wait 5 years, 8 years, and then she'll be old enough, and So.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks, guys, for all that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dan. We appreciate that. We are appreciated.
Hey, take care, guys.
You too.
Bye.
Quick note to the guys in the studio: if somebody can come in here and adjust the volume on the speaker because it's getting
loud.
Crazy loud in here. I'm going to get the name wrong. Somebody else can look it up and let me know about it. There was a geologist, a geology student, who I remember. Basically, the issue is he understood the science extremely well. I think he was a PhD or a PhD candidate. Accepted the science that explained the age of the Earth and the way geology, from a scientific standpoint, told him about the planet. And in his investigations of the Bible, he found that those two were in conflict. And despite the fact that he was evidently a brilliant geologist, an eminently reasonable person devoted to science, he, when faced with this conflict, chose to disregard the science and go with the Bible. And when I hear things like that, it's just, I don't get it. Because granted, yes, I was a fundamentalist Christian for 20 some odd years. I was seriously studying to be a minister. My goals were to lead more people to Christ, and I thought my beliefs were sound and supported by good evidence and reason and logic, in addition to what I then viewed as faith or personal experiences. And yet when I investigated and found out that that wasn't the case, I didn't cling to the irrational. I maintained, and I think that's the one thing that's been consistent, is that I've always been an advocate of reason and evidence. I thought that reason and evidence were on my side previously. When I discovered they weren't, I changed my views to match the evidence, and that's the way that science works, and that's the way good thinking processes should work. That you don't disregard or modify evidence to fit what you want it to be.
Well, and to be honest, that's how everyone evaluates just about everything almost every day. So the question becomes, if you're willing to believe something is true, despite the fact that your judgment would indicate that it's not, and despite the fact that the evidence does not support it, upon what are you basing your assertion that it's true? If it doesn't align with evidence, and I don't trust my judgment on it, how am I making a determination that it's correct? Like, what am I using? I don't, there is no explanation for that.